did someone call for an Uber? Alright guys, what is up? Today I'm going to show you everything that it takes for me to drive as a paraplegic. Let's get it. Alright, so this is my 2019 Toyota Tacoma. It is the first new car that I have ever owned. I actually got it after my accident. I was injured in January of 2019 and I got this, I want to say, in like July or late June of 2019. Before that, I drove a 1988 Toyota 4Runner and it was manual. So as you might imagine, doesn't exactly work.
Sammy, you will wreck the car. We will not finish.
Actually, initially before I got this truck, I had another truck that a gentleman graciously gave me in the community. It was an older, like early 2000s Ford F-150, you know, the bubble body style with the V8 Triton, you know, the definition of 2000s America.
Let's see that again. Some terrific pounding, huh?
I drove that. It had like legitimate hand controls, and that was like really the first thing that I drove after my accident. I had the F-150 for about a month or so, and then the motor blew up. And I got this bad boy. The Bruno lift is really just a bonus. You know, you don't really need that to drive. It does make life a lot easier, but the real thing that you need to be able to drive as a paraplegic is a set of hand controls. Now, these hand controls are custom. Son of a bitch, that's hot. These hand controls are custom. They were built by my cousin's husband. Shout out Evan Winiger. Him and his dad over at Fireball Racing built these, and they are just super simple and super sleek, and that's exactly what I wanted. I didn't need anything fancy. I wanted them to be able to come off if somebody else had to drive it. So it's all integrated into the seat mounts, and then it has wing nuts on the foot pedals, but they're super dope, dude. All custom Heim joints. You got the little dirt bike throttle right here, and basically it's super simple. You just pull backwards for gas, push forward for brake. One thing I will say though, when you first start driving, you really have to be conscious of, you know, gas and brake.
It's the brakes, Buford!
But it definitely took some thought at first. You really had to be conscious of what exactly you were doing. Really, that's the two main things. Really the one main thing that you need to have to drive as a paraplegic. The other thing that I have is a low profile Rojo cushion. When you're driving long distances, you can't really pressure relief while you're driving. I mean, there's ways you could do it. I figured out some jank ways to get up off my butt while I'm driving. Just because you're sitting all the time, that's one of the main things that they tell you while you are in rehab after your accident, is doing pressure reliefs is a huge lifesaver, just because you don't want to get a pressure sore because you're sitting all the time. Anytime I'm awake, I'm sitting on my butt, basically. So pressure reliefs are a huge deal. But yeah, those are basically the three things that you need in order to drive as a paraplegic. Like I said, you really only need one. If you cannot afford the legit hand controls from a company, there are grants that you can apply for. There is also on Amazon quick stick hand controls, like you guys have seen me using the forklift. Okay, quick stick hand controls are like 200 bucks. They're super simple, kind of jank. Not gonna lie, they are kind of jank, but they work, dude. I know plenty of people that just use the quick stick hand controls as their daily drivers. You know, I was just fortunate enough and blessed enough to have the right people in my life to be able to make something like this, make something custom, you know, this. And same with the lift, man. You know, I wouldn't have that without the people in my life or the people in my community who graciously donated that to me in the first place. Yeah, man, if you are newly injured and you think that you are not going to be able to drive again, that is simply not the case. Even if you are somebody who does not have very good hand dexterity, say you're a quadriplegic per se, there's plenty of ways to drive and learn how to get back behind the wheel. I'm just not familiar with them. But I do have friends that are quadriplegics and they drive just as good, you know. But above all else, slap them in a car, slap them in your friend's car, your mom's car, and just go to a parking lot. You know, learn how to drive, cruise around, ditch the wheelchair, throw it in the back, leave it at the house, whatever. Driving offers a lot of independence and opens up a lot of doors for you. You have people like Christina Vithulkas, who literally is a drift racer, and she's paralyzed. You know, same with Chair Slayer. He's paralyzed as well, and they're literally drift racers. They've rigged their cars up and figured out how to drift. You have people like my friend Ellie, who is literally building a Fox Body Mustang with her husband to drive around as a daily driver. So, yeah, man. Above all else, you know, once you get that comfortability and that urge to get out and be more independent again, grab some hand controls, dude. Learn how to drive. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.